Shalawam, shalawam. First and foremost, all praises be to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well and sincerity taught us his truth. Shalawam for the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children. Maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. It's your brother Yerami Kazak. Back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Those are the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. All right, in the Paleo Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, which our people spoke before we came to America. All right, at the end of the day, before we spoke this colonizer tongue. All right, so this one will be entitled "The Law of the Concubine." All right, Shalawam. I know you. I saw you up in there, man. Dude was tripping. All right, but this will be a short one, man. Okay, the law of the concubine. For people that don't really understand that what a concubine is, that a concubine is just nothing more than a lesser wife. Okay, so I'm gonna go to AI overview, and then we're gonna hit a couple scriptures. In the Bible, a concubine was a secondary wife, often with a lower social status, but still afforded certain legal protections. The Mosaic Law, specifically Exodus 21:7-11, outlines these protections, ensuring basic provisions like food and clothing and preventing unfair treatment. While not on par with a primary wife, concubines were not simply mistresses. They were considered part of the household and had a defined legal status within the framework of the law. Now, understanding this, because a concubine is not an Israelite woman, right? The divorce for that woman is easier, it's more lenient, right? And if she doesn't please you, then you can let her go, right? But an Israelite woman it has to be adultery in the act or some type of act like that, right? You have to be with that lady, basically till you unalive. So it's a difference because an Israelite woman is your primary wife, your main wife. A concubine is a heathen woman, right? A concubine will always be a heathen woman, okay? So we're going to get that Exodus, but we're going to start over here in Deuteronomy 21:10. And it says domestic relations. Hey, Shalawam, Kakama, Yahawah, Shem, Yahawashi, Barak. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and Yahawah thy power hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hath a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. Now, what is this speaking about? We go into war with who? We ain't going to war with our own nation. Okay, we going to war with other nations. So these are women of other nations. So other nations have beautiful women, most definitely, right? Verse 12, then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, and she shall be put the remnant of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will. But thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. Meaning you went into that woman. All right, you committed intercourse with that woman. All right, keeping it going. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be heirs that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. So these laws are there so that, Jake, you got to treat your women correctly. You got to treat your women in order and not being petty with strife, you know what I'm saying, and treating them unfairly, right? So going back to the concubine situation, you can easily put her away, right? But you can't sell her as a slave because you humbled her. You was dealing with her. It just didn't work out, right? At the end of the day. but that's a lesser wife because you can just easily put her away. All right. Now, I was just in a live with this individual, and he's clearly bugged out, right? I don't even remember his name, but he was basically saying that David is a Moabite because Ruth was a Moabite. All right. And that makes no sense at all because Boaz was an Israelite. And we went in, we, talked a minute, maybe about 20 minutes. All right. And he agreed with me that the father's lineage is coming from the Salakia, that the lineage of someone is coming from the father. So let's read number 17 real quick. Number 17 and 2. Speak unto the children of Israel and take up every one of them a rod according to the house of their fathers. Your house is determined by your father. Of all their princes, according to the house of their fathers, 12 rods, write thou every man's name upon his rod. All right, as you can see up here on the chart, same thing. That's what it's talking about, right? We are of the tribes. We all go back to Israel, all right, Israelites, and then we have our respective tribes: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Naphtali, Asher, Reuben, Issachar, right? We all have our respective tribes, which we go back to at the end of the day. And these are all men. There's no women in this lot, okay? The women could have been whoever, because we know Ephraim and Manasseh, they came from an Egyptian woman, okay? Because Joseph went into an Egyptian woman, he had 2 sons. So they're not Egyptians, they're Israelites, because Joseph is an Israelite, right? At the end of the day. So for this individual to say that David is a Moabite because his grandmother, is it great-grandmother? Yeah, was a Moabite, that makes no sense. And after about 20 minutes, I could see that these individuals was not going to understand that Ruth was simply a concubine. All right? Oh, hell nah. Get this nigga out of here. Salakia. Yeah. Cockable, man. Yeah, man. Hey, you got him. I think you got him before me. All right? Khan, and brother Matazabak said, right, he agreed, but didn't have the understanding and went over his head. Khan, and the brother Matazabak was in the live, and he heard the brother agree that the lineage is determined by the man, period. I mean, the conversation really should have ended right there at that point, because I told this individual that Boaz was an Israelite of the tribe of Judah. Boaz went into Ruth, and what? And Obed came out. Obed is an Israelite of the tribe of Judah. Now, in that live, I tried to read Ruth, the 4th chapter, and I'm going to finish reading it over here. Let's go to Ruth, the 4th chapter, starting at verse 10. Matter of fact, because he kept saying that Boaz broke the law, but that's a damn lie, okay? So let's actually go up, all right? And we really could start at the top, because this whole chapter, matter of fact, let's do it, man. All right. Okay. The marriage of Ruth. Then went Boaz up to the gate and sat him down there, and behold, the kinsman of whom Boaz spake came by, unto whom he said, Ho, such a one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down. And he took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, Sit ye down here. And they sat down. And he said unto the kinsman Naomi, that is come again out of the country of Moab, selleth a parcel of land which was our brother's Elimelech's, and I thought to advertise thee, saying, Buy it before the inhabitants and before the elders of my people, if thou wilt redeem it. Redeem it. But if thou wilt not redeem it, then tell me, that I may know, for there is none to redeem it beside thee, and I am after thee. And he said, I will redeem it. Then said Boaz, What day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must buy it also of Ruth, the Moabitess. Right? So Ruth is a Moabite, but Boaz is not breaking the law. Right? Let's keep going. The wife of the dead, Malan, right? To raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance. And the kinsman said, this is the law of the kinsman redeemer, said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I merit my own inheritance. Redeem thou my right to thyself, for I cannot redeem it. Now this was the manner in former time in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changing. For to confirm all things, a man plucked off his shoe and gave it to his neighbor, and this was the testimony in Israel. Therefore the kinsman said unto Boaz, buy it for thee. So he drew off his shoe. And Boaz said unto the elders. Now, if the elders was there, how is Boaz breaking the law? He called the elders. He had them sit down. He did this in a public fashion in front of people of Israel. Okay? You think he breaking the law? Like, and this guy admitted, he said, I haven't read the book of Ruth in a long time. That's why you going off. Because you have no understanding. You're teaching on something that you haven't even read. Right? Keeping it going, verse 8. Therefore the kinsman said unto Boaz, buy it for thee. So he drew off his shoe, as the custom we just read. And Boaz said unto the elders and to all the people, ye are witnesses this day that I have brought all that was Elimelech's and all that was Chilam's and Mahlon's of the hand of Naomi. Now who is Mahlon? The husband, the unallowed husband of Ruth. So if you buy what that man has, you get his possession. A wife is a possession. Let's get that. Okay. In the book of Sirach. Or Ecclesiasticus. It's Ecclesiasticus 36 and 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. Now Boaz was the cousin of Mahlon, and Mahlon's brother refused to do the kinsman redeemer. He refused to go into Ruth. So she had to go to his next to kin. She had to go to Boaz. This was the order. This was the way that it was supposed to be done. Right? Keeping it going. Verse 10. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife. Now, what did the scripture say? He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. So a wife, hey, it's going to be like that in the kingdom, man. It's an item. It's a possession. You women may not like to hear it, but that's the correct way. That's the order of things. All right. A man buys you. He purchases you from your father. He gives shekels or, some type of resource source, and he gives that to your father. He asks for your hand, and he buys you off of your father, and you become his possession, his item. All right, I see a couple people left alive off of that. That's beautiful. You're not gonna get it. It's not meant for you. All right, keep going. So a woman is a possession. Let's read it. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased. Let's get that word purchase, man, because I want to make this plain upon tables. Purchase, to get, acquire, obtain, of power, originating, creating, redeeming his people. Possessor, all right? So to acquire. So you purchase your wife, all right? Even to this day, what did I do before I married my wife, right? In the sense of being with her like that, right? I went and asked her father. We just read that. You was probably asleep. But I went and asked her father, right? At the end of the day. And I asked him, and I said, sir, can I, I want to marry your daughter, right? Et cetera, et cetera. And he was happy about it, right? And that goes back. That goes back. Most likely what we used to do. It's your soul crying out. Because to me, it felt right. It's like, man, I gotta go ask him, right? I gotta approve. I gotta get his approval. Okay? And that's how you should do it, right? A sleepy individual will want a precept read. Let's get it. Ecclesiasticus 36 and 20. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. So once again, I asked her father, can I marry his daughter? So, how he was looking over her. Now I'm looking over her. I'm watching over her, right? So that's what's supposed to take place. And the father, right, he wants a good man to come and take his daughter, as the brother said, that's why you have to pay that bride dowry. To even, understand that you can take care of her, you have to pay a certain amount of money. And you should have a house, a place for her to stay, right? Clothes, remnant, food. You should have all of this before you begin to even acquire a wife. But now in this civilization, you got individuals 16, 17, 18, they going into women and they marrying women already. They having babies in high school when they don't have nothing to their name. Okay, this civilization is backwards. This society is backwards. How you gonna support a woman? You can't even support yourself. You don't even got no job, but you out here going into a woman, man. Okay, that's idiot. That's idiot behavior, man. All right, but that's how the society is set up. That's why also, if we go into marriage, understanding that the man was normally twice the age of that female. Let's say the female was 15. The man was most likely 30 or above. This was how it was carried out. All right. So it was because the man was already established. He already had a place to stay, horses, cattle. He had food, remnant. He could support that woman. He could support the kids that was going to come from that woman, right? Marriage was not a thing of lust. Oh, she's bad, I want to go, no. All right. It was more so for a woman to be a wife and to produce seeds, to produce children, right? Because the man places the seed for her to carry the seed, incubate the seed, and the seed to come out after 10 months, and for her to bring up the seed in the correct way to raise the kid. While the man is doing what he's supposed to do, he off working, handling business, right? Now, that individual, same individual we was just talking about, he tried to take me to, He tried to take me Nehemiah 13th chapter, with Nehemiah talking about we can't go into an Ammonite or Moabite, right? Now, at that point in time, it was because the men were what? They were going into women, Moabites, Ammonites, and those Ammonites and those Moabites were raising up the kids in the ways of the Ammonites and the Moabites, raising them up incorrectly in idolatry. So let's go to the same verse that he went to, right? This individual does not have no understanding of the scripture. Let's go to Nehemiah, the 13th chapter. And where was he at? They couldn't speak Ashdod. Verse 23, I think. All right, so this is what he tried to so-called cut me on. All right, hey, and if they tripping in the comments, man, mute their ass. All right, I ain't got enough energy for that today. Verse 23, in those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people. And I contended with them and cursed them and smote certain of them and plucked off their hair and made them swear by power, saying, ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons or for yourselves. Because what was going on? The heritage. These children were being raised up as Moabites and Ammonites, but they were Israelite children. All right? Because the wives, the wives were raising these kids up incorrectly, teaching them the language of Moab. They didn't even know Hebrew. They didn't know the Lashawan Kadash. All right? So this is why Nehemiah was going at them. Now, if you have a concubine woman, but you ruling your household correctly, right? And that woman knows the Hebrew. That woman has the proper understanding. She's doing her wifely duties. Then what's going to go on? Those children are going to be raised up properly, right? And it won't be no issues. Okay? Was it an issue with Obed? No. Okay? Was it an issue with Jesse? No. All right? So it wasn't an issue at that time frame. Boaz was a just man. He was a righteous man. So the way that he took care of his household was different than the way that these Israelites were taking care of it during the time of Nehemiah. This individual couldn't understand, bro, we was just coming out of Babylon. All right? These Israelites were coming out of heathen customs, heathen cultures. They were used to the ways of the heathens. Every Israelite ain't strong spiritually, mentally, and physically like some brothers, right? They gonna give in to the ways of these heathens. They gonna be doing the feast days and the practices of these heathens. So those individuals at that point in time is most likely a lot of our family members, friends, etc., that taking on the practices of America, Babylon, right? They're going on and they're allowing their women to raise up their kids any type of way. When, you know, you got the baby mama situation, you get your kid on the weekend and this nigga might be effeminate or some shit. Cause your woman is raising that kid. So he don't know how to be a man because you letting him be raised up by a woman, by a female. She's subject to more demons and things of that nature. She probably got him listening to damn Megan Thee Stallion and shit, man. All right. So this is what was taking place, to break it into modern terms, to have you understand. This is what was taking place. You can't allow these heathen women to raise your children. Let's go back to Ruth, the 4th chapter. And verse 11. And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, we are witnesses. Yahawah make the woman that is come into thine house like Rachel and like Leah, which two did build the house of Israel, and do thou worthily in Ephratah, and be famous in Bethlehem. And let thy house be like the house of Pharez. Because Boaz's bloodline goes back to Pharez. All right? Understanding that. Whom Tamar bare unto Judah of the seed which Yahawah shall give thee of this young woman. So Boaz took Ruth, took her, it means to have intercourse with her, and she was his wife. All right? And when he went in unto her, Yahawah gave her conception. All right? She got pregnant, and she bare a son. And the woman said unto Naomi, blessed be Yahawah, which have not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name may be famous in Israel. And he shall be unto thee a restorer of thy life, and a nourisher of thine old age, for thy daughter-in-law, which loveth thee, which is better to thee than 7 sons, have borne him. Okay? And the line of David began here. That's beautiful. But, hey, once again, this individual couldn't understand it. He couldn't understand the purpose, the kinsman redeemer, all right, that a woman is a possession, that a concubine is a lesser wife. He couldn't understand these basic points. This is not hard to understand. All right. Yeah, exactly. It was a stumbling block to him, you know. And then towards the end of that live, he said he doesn't believe in the book of Ruth or the book of Chronicles or Kings or any of that. I guess he just reads from the Torah. So hey, when I heard that, I left the live because it's no point in me talking to you, bro. You're done. You're cursed. All right. At the end of the day. So, hey, man, I said this is going to be a short one. Okay. Yeah. He don't believe in the prophets as well. He said that. So I said this is going to be a short one. That's pretty much it. Just breaking down the law of the concubine. Matter of fact, we'll get that Exodus 21:7? We'll get that and we'll end it over there. This is Exodus 21:7. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maid servant, she shall not go out as the men servants do, if she please not her master, who hath betrothed her to himself. Then shall he let her to be redeemed, to sell her unto a strange nation. He shall have no power, seeing he have dealt decently with her. And if he have betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. And if he do not these 3 unto her, then shall she go out free without money. So you can't just treat your concubines any type of way. You can't just treat your wife any type of way. You got to take care of that female. You got to take care of these women. Okay? Carl K. Beretta, I don't know you. I don't owe you, bro. You can't get no testimony on here. All right? You know, you go do that on your own time. All right? Now, if you got a question, we can answer it. But this, I don't know what you thought this was. Like, this ain't the church, bro. This ain't the Christian church where I got a test. Nah, this ain't that, bro. But you know, if you got a question on anything, okay, you can ask it right now. I'll give about 3 minutes for questions. All right, if any brother want to come up, you could come up. All right, you know, pretty much it. We done though. You know what this is. Okay, well, if you know what this is, then you know you can't get no testimony over here, bro. We teaching a lesson, man. Have some respect. Have some class. All right, it has to do with Yahawah. Oh, okay, what's up? Right? This ain't one of those lives, man. I'm a little tired. It's a lucky if I'm like on edge. But if you could come up, bro, you can come up, man. All right, let me see if I can bring you up. You give your testimony, bro. I'll bring you up. Cause you got the right name, so you know I'm gonna give you that. You can come up.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Shalawam, bro. Shalawam.
Shalawam, bro. My bad, bro. I don't mean to interrupt what you got going on, man. I just kind of came across your page, but it's crazy because I was just on TikTok, and I don't be on TikTok like that, bro. I just hopped in on TikTok, you know, regarding what was happening on with the world and politics and whatnot, and I drifted away from this whole Israelite thing, bro. I drifted away from it from a long time ago, you know. But I've been in truth. I'm not your hardcore, you know. I want to say hardcore Israelite, right? But
You
it's
sound
crazy.
like you Northern Kingdom. What you Issachar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear
Well,
it in your voice.
technically, that's where I'll be, you know, categorized according to the Israelite doctrine, you know. But I'll be honest with you, bro. I just needed somebody to talk to that's in the truth.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And you know, I haven't gotten deep with the Most High. You know, I turned my back away from Him a long time ago, and I started with this. I want to say like 10 years ago, bro. Like more than 10 years ago, I've been knowing about this truth, and so just recently, you know, I've never prayed to the name Yahawah. I've never gotten that deep. I used to pray to a name Ahaya.
Oh, okay.
I think there was a different like camp. It was totally different. I
Yeah,
believe it was called
that just
AO.
means I am. That's not his real name. That's just a title that he has. I am a higher.
Yeah, it was Ahaya Bahashem, yeah, something like that. But anyways, I'm pretty sure it's totally irrelevant now. I mean, there's some different camp they used to call on God, but that's Ahaya, and that's how I left it. When I left the truth, you know, I got distracted into this world, and just recently, I mean, really recently, uh, a month ago, less than a month ago, something spooked me and scared me straight shit. And I apologize for cussing,
Now
but
you good, bro. We speak freely over here.
but I wanted to share this because I cannot share this with nobody. I mean, there's nobody that knows what I've gone how deep down the rabbit hole according to this whole Israelite thing or the Most High and whatnot. Like I have nobody to talk this to, and I don't have nobody on Instagram or anything like that. And it so happens that I'm just going through TikTok and I'm just seeing you're preaching, and I'm just like, well, I gotta let this go to somebody that's in the truth. And the reason why is because since you're in the truth and you pray to the Most High, you know, it means a lot that you pray, you know, for me too, and I appreciate that. And you know, not to make the story any longer of what happened, you know what sleep paralysis is, right?
Oh yeah, I didn't felt sleep paralysis 3 times in my life.
Bro, so I've had that my whole life. Like it's nothing. It's like something that's expected. And when it used to happen to me, when I used to get them, I mean, I used to struggle. I used to like resist this paralysis, and I could feel the tension in the room of darkness and evil. And the last couple of times that I had them, I want to say the last 5 times that happened to me within this past 10 years. I remember I would just say the Lord's Prayer, and for some reason I'll just wake up. You know, that was just my way. I remember just when I realized that I was paralyzed, I'll be conscious and I'll just start saying the Lord's Prayer, and then I'll be released. And it was one of the last times that happened to me. But just this recent time though, this last time a month ago, boss, I remember I was dreaming, and I won't get in details of the dream, but I just remember just waking up from the dream. It was like a deep, deep dream. And then I got paralyzed. And I said, oh man, here we go again. And so I already knew what to do. I stopped resisting, and I was just about to say the Lord's Prayer. But I do remember my Lord's Prayer in Paleo Hebrew, which is Abba Nawa, Shabash Shamayom, Kodash Hayashimka, Yahawah Malak Waka, and that's all I know. And so I didn't know Yahawah was a name that other Israelites would pray to that name, right? And so I remember saying that in the paralysis, and yo, man, you won't believe what happened. It's not. I cannot say it was a voice, because it was not like a voice that me and you hear through the ear. It was like a vibration that sounded the voice or the name Yahawah. And it was so deep. I mean, resonating deep, bro. My whole body, not my body, well, it felt like my body, but I want to say my spirit was trembling. It was so deep that it spooked me so hard, because I've had sleep paralysis before, but this is a voice communicating to my brain, but it's not a voice. It's hard to explain it, but all I could remember, it was my body was trembling. And because I know these kind of things, and I know I drifted away from it, in my head, while this voice was saying Yahawah, but it was so deep and it was so slow. When it was saying that voice, in the midst of that, I could hear my voice in between that big voice. And I remember my head, I was saying, yo, I know who you are, but I am not ready to meet you. I was scared straight shit, bro. I was trembling. And for some reason, as soon as it said Yahawah, but it said it so slow though. When it said Yahawah, that's when I woke up. And I wanted to wake up my girl and tell her, yo, you won't believe what the fuck happened. But she don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
And I've never prayed to that name Yahawah. I've heard it here and there. But I stopped that whole Israelite thing years ago. And I don't know why this happened to me. And I guess, when I was just thinking in my head, I was like, yo, this is so not normal. I'm not going to lie to you, big dog. What's your name again? Jeremiah?
Uramia.
Ramya, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I kind of got scared for a little bit, because I kind of felt like I was hearing a voice in my head when I was asleep, and I felt like I actually got scared. I thought, you know what, man? What if I'm hearing voices now? What if I'm gonna start hearing voices? What if I'm going schizophrenic? And so I guess I fell asleep again within like that 10-minute period. I fell asleep again, and I went back to paralyzed mode, and it happened again. Exactly the same thing. The same thing happened, boss. Like it was crazy, man. It just did the same thing, and I got even more spooked. I said, this thing did not leave me alone. It said the same tone as Yahawah. It was so deep. Like if you would, like when you're watching a movie, a biblical movie, and it's like Moses supposedly talking to God, and God's voice is so deep, like Moses. It was so deep. And the vibration was just vibrating my body. It's like a subwoofer. Like, when a subwoofer is just vibrating and it's vibrating things like the windows or the dirt is just bouncing. That's exactly how it felt. It was so deep. And I don't believe in these weird things like that. It's hard for me to get deep into these type of things. But that just recently happened to me. And I cannot shake that off. And, I cannot explain it, how serious this thing impacted my life. And I don't like to dwell into it too much, but now that I'm kind of like slowly being dragged into this whole Israelite thing, I'm just kind of like, well, what now? Like, it's kind of sad, but it's beautiful at the same time, because something extraordinary impacted my life just recently, but I don't get any more signs. Like, I haven't heard him again. I don't know if it's the Holy Spirit. I haven't heard anything. I haven't had any weird dreams. Nothing weird has happened ever since. And I'm just kind of like confused, if that makes sense. It's so confusing, and I cannot explain it. It trembled my whole body. And the perfect feeling that I could describe is, before that even happened, the first sleep paralysis, before I even heard the name Yahawah, I was having a deep sleep. I remember my deep sleep was like, I was in tune with this one body that wasn't mine. It felt like an indigenous person of the Americas, going through like genocide, and I could feel his tears. Like it made me want to cry. Like I was tearing up so bad in my sleep. I could feel that anger, the tears. I felt it so bad. And then out of nowhere, I just got paralyzed. And I remember just waking up in my room, and I'm just like, oh shit, it's my room. And then I'm trying to wake up and try to get up, but I can't. And then I hear the voice, Yahawah. But it was so slow, almost like an eternity though. And that's it, bro. That's all I wanted to get on my chest. You know, I didn't know how to explain this to my mother or to somebody that knows about this, you know. And I have this one he's Christian though. He's a Christian Hispanic, you know, that works for me at one of my job sites. And he's the closest thing that I have to this. And I remember being in my car, and I was just like, man, maybe I should talk it with him. You know, I felt like I needed to get it out with him. And so I approached him, and we were talking about, you know, personal things about the job. And I was just kind of slowly guiding it towards those talks about God. And it just came to me. He just brought it up. He said, we were just talking about cars and whatnot. And he said, hey, do you really believe in God? And I was just like, well, why did you say that? That's so random. Oh, do you believe it? Have you ever heard God talk to you? And my skin got chills. Like I got the goosebumps when he said that, bro. When he said that, I said, yo, like this is not happening right now. Like it's so weird. Like why would he ask me if I've heard God's voice before? And so I opened up to him for a moment in that moment right there. That's when I got super spooked, because what if I'm going through weird things? Like it just doesn't make sense. And so that's when I chopped it up with him, and we talked about it. And he said, get ready, because now that he spoke to you, he's gonna face you. You're gonna see somebody walk up to you and tell you his name is I am that I am. But he said it in Spanish though. You know, I took it as, you know, coincidence or not, whatever's. Like I feel like there's something just happening in my life, and I just can't explain it. You know, and I'm glad that I came out with you, and I appreciate your time, boss man. I don't mean to interrupt your live.
Nah, you good, man. Let me get some scriptures for you, bro.
I appreciate that, man. And like I said, bro, like I'm not really too deep into it no more, but man, I have books piled up. You know, I cannot dedicate my time that much, you know, and I know I'm supposed to make time for it, but I thank the Most High for whatever I got right now, because I am where I am, where I used to pray where I wanted to be before. You get what I'm saying? And we just get so distracted in this world with money. We get distracted with progression in life. And I just feel like I owe this to the Most High. I feel like he called me maybe. You know, I need to get back to him. So I appreciate that, boss.
All right, I'm going to get you a couple scriptures, man. This is Job 7:13-14. All right, when I say, my bed shall comfort me, my couch shall ease my complaint. Right? Like you was sleeping, you was relaxing. What happened? Then thou scarest me with dreams and terrify me through visions. That's what sleep paralysis is. He's attacking you in a dream state. Now, understanding that Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, that's the Father and the Son, right? How they move is you got the left-handed side, you got the right-handed side. The right-handed side is the righteous, the left-handed side is the wicked. So he placed the evil angel on you, which is sleep paralysis, which I've encountered, as I said, 3 times in my life, where you can't move, you know, you can't do anything, right? All you can do really is, as you did what you were supposed to do. You said the Lord's Prayer, and saying it in Paleo Hebrew is 10 times better than saying it in English. So you did what you're supposed to do. Now that name is jumping out to you. The Father's trying to give you mercy. As the brothers were saying in the comments, all right, the doors of mercy are still open. And that's what you came to the right place, because you came to the prophets, right? And we're going to tell you that the doors of mercy are still open. Knowing this truth, knowing that you are Israelite, you know what tribe you from, right? That's very important. So the Father is trying to pull you back in, trying to bring you back. I'm going to get this Isaiah 45:5-7. I am Yahawah, right? His name would be right there, okay? They put Lord, but his name would be right there. It's in the Old Testament over 4,000 times. I am Yahawah, and there is none else. There is no power beside me. I girdle thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am Yahawah, and there is none else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahawah, do all these things. So any type of demonic spirit that's coming on you, The Father is sending that demonic spirit to chastise you because he wants to bring you back. Now, that name keeps coming out, Yahawah. Let's go to Proverbs 18 and 10. The name of Yahawah is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. So you should be praying towards that name. Them Ahtham dudes, right? That's just basically a false prophet. That's a false, them anti-Hamashiachs, antichrist, right? That are coming and trying to pull you away from the Father and the Son. This is Acts 4 and 12. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. So those two names, if a brother could put it in the chat for me, Yahawah and Yahawashi. Yahawah, Yah means he, Hawa means to be or to exist. And then Yahawashi, once again, Yah means he, Hawashi means to save, to deliver, or is salvation. So, man, the Heavenly Father is trying to bring you back into this thing, right? And for those sleep paralysis, when I had them, I fasted, I prayed. Every time after I had them, if I woke up, I would get up and I would pray, right? And then certain other things happened to me, like a deep, dark spirit came into my room and it crawled up on the wall and it went up on the ceiling, but it couldn't attack me. Now, what would I do? I would call on the names. So anytime when we're in trouble, that's what the Father is trying to condition you to do, is to call on the names Yahawah and Yahawashi at the end of the day. And those names are salvation. And the brother also put, man, hey, you said you turned, you kind of went back into the world. You know, this is a sign that you need to repent and convert. According to Acts 3 and 19, you need to leave the ways of the world alone. Anything that you're doing in the world, you know, that may be a hindrance to you, and get back in your Bible, get back in the Word. All you need, man, is this KJV, right? 16:11, and just start reading the Word and fasting and praying and get back, man. Because I'm sure you said you look at what's going on in the world and things of that nature, like WW3, ICE, you know, Trump passed a big, beautiful bill. It's about to give $100 billion to ICE. He's about to start coming down on our people, Israelites, Northern tribe, Native Americans, and Latinos, and also Southern tribe, Negroes, Haitians, Jamaicans, Trinidadians. So DJT is about to start coming down on us extremely hard, man. So that's the Heavenly Father trying to give you that mercy to save you and to bring you back into this fold, bro. You know, and I suggest, hey, if you can't, you know, follow me and tune into the lives and just try to grow in this truth. And the brother also put GMS Elders the Milk. That's somewhere you can go on YouTube to get more information. That's the elders that taught us, right? If you could put it again, Kakuma, GMS Elders the Milk, so the brother can get it. And man, because that's a sign, man. Yahawah's trying to deal with you. He's chastising you by sending evil spirits on you because he wants to pull you back into this fold. He wants to bring you back to this truth. You know what I'm saying? You got how you feel about that?
Oh man, the first 2 weeks I couldn't get over it. You know, I've always loved, you know, things that had to do with that's not normal. You know, something I just always knew there was something beyond what we're taught or what we're normally indoctrinated with. You know, growing up, I mean, in Hispanic culture, we have a lot of Catholicism, and you know, I have my mother. She was Catholic. Her mother was Catholic, but she never went to church. We never went to Catholic church. She never took me to church. We never did our baptism. So like I knew like there was something off. We were not religious. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, my life, the way it turned out and unfolded, I was never pulled into Christianity or Catholicism, and it was
Good.
maybe meant to be.
Because Catholic, as the brother Matazabak always says, it means universal, like universal. So I'm gonna get it right here. Catholic, including a wide variety of things, all embracing. And this truth is not for everybody. It's only for a select group of individuals. That's good that y'all didn't do that. Y'all didn't go into that mess, because that's demons.
Oh yeah, no, that's out the window. When it comes down to Catholicism and Christianity, I've been knowing my mother. She's been knowing, and and I try to pull her into some stuff like this, but it's hard. It's hard for her, and I understand. Like a lot of this, we don't celebrate holidays. We celebrate holy days. And
Yeah.
she has children, and it's just one of those things where it's kind of hard to pull family into this. And I still go celebrate Christmas or whatnot with them, but I know I'm not supposed to. And so how I feel about God pulling me again is just one of those things where I know I'm ready. I know my spirit leans towards the truth. It has always been like that, man. Since when I was a kid, I've always had a heart bone, and I always knew that my spirit is much more bigger than what people try to burn down. I mean, slow down, and duel. But my spirit's more than that. I could feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it. Yeah.
I could feel it deep down inside. I know there's just more to it. And that's exactly what just happened not too long ago. And I'm glad it happened. It woke me up again. It woke me up, and it got me confused yet because I felt like finally I have now a spiritual phenomenon happening to me like this has never happened to me. Now it's happening. It was beautiful. I said, well, man, finally God is probably talking to me. But I can't believe I was scared. I was spooked. I was scared. I said, yo, in my brain, I said, yo, I am not ready to meet you. I am sorry, but I am not ready to meet you if you're trying to have me see you or whatever. But it's funny now, but at the moment it wasn't. And I guess I'm glad that I was able to talk it out. And when this is all said and done tonight, I am definitely going to pray. I've been praying. I've been holding back temptations. I haven't done I haven't done any intimacy, so I've been holding back temptations, and all I gotta do is just fast. That's about it. I've been kind of getting into scriptures a bit. I've been reading, Revelations 12. It has to do with the virgin, with the virgin and the dragon and the red dragon. And
Yeah, that's talking about Israel and the Roman Empire. This the Wati man.
yeah, like I don't know why that popped in my head these past weeks, and I just couldn't. I just kept reading it, and I kept digging into that, and how the dragon was taking down one third of the stars, right? That's what I was talking about.
Huh.
One third of the stars, and I was thinking to myself, maybe it has something to do with it. But when they said that it was taking the red dragon was taking down one third of the stars, I was thinking about how Trump is handling these things. How he represents the Republicans, and he's red, and the stars were the 50 stars, but only one
Oh,
third
nah, that's not talking about
is
that.
not that, right? Yeah, but my mind was just going back into it. But there was just that, boss man, and I appreciate your time. Though my name's Joseph, by the way. So
Joseph, hey, that's a biblical name, man, Joseph.
yeah,
And
so
on that family thing, man, you could be that one out of your family that may wake up, that may be in the truth, right? Like me, I'm that one in my family, right? My family don't get it. My grandma, she still call on Jesus, like it's all good. So, deal with them. Don't be, but deal with them. Like, hey, Christmas, go get a plate or whatever, but don't bow down under that tree because that's not. You're bigger than that, all right? Jeremiah 10:2. Don't do what the heathens do. You know better. They don't know better. So you got to be that light to them. You got to show them the correct way. And that's what Yahawah is trying to do for your family, right? By waking you up and bringing you into this truth. So I would say, like right now, I've been in this truth 4 years, right? And my mom's is finally saying the names of Yahawah and Yahawashi. And that's because just over all these years, I kind of tried to put it in her head a little bit and showed her stuff and said certain prophecies. And she's seeing this stuff come to pass. Like she's seeing ice go down on the northern kingdom heavy. She's seeing a lot of this, right? I've given her certain herbs and foods to help her and all this type of stuff. So I'm being a light to her to help her, right? At the end of the day. So I would say you be like that to your family. And as the brothers put always, man, go to GMS Elders the Milk. That's the camp. GMS is who you need to be watching and learning from. That's where the truth resides. That's how I got it. That's how the brother Kawam got it. The brother Kakama got it. The brother Judas that just came up here got it. Right? Those are the proper elders that's teaching the names of Yahawah and Yahawashi, and that's teaching the proper, correct doctrine. You know, so take it day by day, bro. And if you see me on here, man, tap in. You know.
Nah, I appreciate you for your time, bro. I appreciate you guys too. Whoever's seeing in the chat.
And what you said you left. What you have come back. You're trying to come back. This time around, you can't leave Yahawah from the other side. Okay, because this was mercy. This is mercy being shown. Grab Psalms 50 and 22. This time around, you can't leave now. Okay, because if you leave, that's it. And the Heavenly Father Yahawah is not going to play with you.
This is Psalms 50 and 22. Now consider this, ye that forget power, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver.
If you come back, you will be chastised, and what you will suffer, you will go through it. But Job 13 and 15, though Yahawah slay me, I will maintain my way in him, as well as what? You have to bear the indignation, and he required less than our iniquity deserving. So if you come back, just know that you will suffer, and you will be chastised, because what we get chastised, that we don't be judged, what's the paraphrasing, with the world. So if you come back, come back, you will suffer, you will chastise, but your patience possesses your soul. If you lose patience and leave again, Yahawah will deal with you, man. And this is not a game, man. He will deal with you, man. If you think everything is good, right now he have took the fire off you. What I mean by the fire is what? Right now you might think everything is in a good case. And he might show you that. Everything gonna be coming to you smoothly and good. But once again, if you leave once again, you will be dealt with. Okay?
Yeah, I feel it.
Now, I'm going to get this for you. This is Ecclesiasticus 2 and 1 and 2. My son, if thou come to serve Yahawah, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart, meaning your mind, all right, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. So when you do come, you start getting right and coming into this truth, you're going to face a lot of persecution. You're going to face a lot of situations that may be uncomfortable for you. All right. That's what comes with it. Yahawah has to test you. The scripture says, prove a friend.
Wisdom shall try you, roughly paraphrasing.
He's going to try you. Man. Put you through chastisement, put you through a lot of trials and tribulations. But you got to take those chest up, chin out, man, and do it, because our reward is greater than this world, right? This world, and millionaires, billionaires, whatever, all that bullshit. We going to have everlasting life, everlasting bodies. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind.
So once again, read Psalms 50 and 22 again. Just to let it stick.
Now consider this, ye that forget power, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver.
Okay, so once again, you say you coming back, and what you have called in the names. This time around, you can't leave. And what if you leave? If you leave once again, you will be dealt with once again. And we're not playing no games. He already said that demon, the Heavenly Father is angry and he's showing his power. Okay, so once again, once this live ends, repent, fast, be sincere, okay, and ask of him, beg and cry out, okay?
Khan.
Yeah, I had a situation happen to me, man. Like, I was coming into this thing, I was calling on Yahweh and Yeshua, and I was still smoking, man. Still rolling backwoods up, fat, preaching, and still smoking, right? And Yahawah almost took my life one day. He took all the energy out of my body. I couldn't even stand up. And my wife had to, pick me up off the ground, man. So, after that, I couldn't play with him no more. So, hey, I pray he don't do you like that, but he's trying to give you mercy, right? So,
absolutely, bro. Yeah, when I started in the truth, I was probably like 17, 18, I'm pushing already 30, bro. I started off with some different camp. I was going into it for like 2 years, 1 year, 2 years. I was in it with my own stuff. So I mean, we started so young doing craziness. In Spanish, we say desmadres, like craziness. Like 13, 12, we're always smoking, drinking. And I want to say by the age of 20, 23, 24, thank God that I stopped everything, man. That's when my whole life changed. I got distracted for quick 5 years, but I've never forgot about God though. I've always, in my head, I would always say, Father, like I apologize for this, or thank you for this, Father. I'm always, in my head, I'm always praying. I might have not prayed, bent the knee or not, but I always had the Most High in my head, and I could never forget Him. I've got rid of every temptation that I've had in my life, and the only temptation that I could say that that I've had was just women, and now the Most High has brought me a woman, into my life this past year, and she's exactly what I've prayed for, and I appreciate that from the Most High. Like I have my woman, my right rib. I'm planning to have kids with her, but my first son, when he's born though, I want to be not ready. I want to be prepared. You know, I, I,
James 4, 14 to 15, as well as what, don't get too attached to a woman, man. You a man. Okay, remember Ezekiel's wife, okay? The Heavenly Father took Ezekiel's wife and he told him what? Not to cry. What happened if Yahawah took away your wife? If you put her above him, okay? Would you?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely not. No one's putting above. Nah. Even if I were to have a son, I cannot put my son before the Most High.
Okay,
It's
so
the Most High first.
He got
The
it,
Most High
Shalawam.
first.
He got it. He just got
okay.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
He got it.
I believe me.
James
I
James 4, 14 to 15. If Yahawah wills, okay? You can't be making plans like that, okay? There's nothing to make plans, but if Yahawah Bahashim Yahushua wills, Lord willing, Abaratazah. Okay, that's about it. You can keep going.
Yeah. So I already know that 100%. Not even my mother, my father. I can't put them before the Most High. It's the Most High first for anything, because the Most High could take away what He gave you in the first place. So, but having this woman, she's what I prayed for. These past 4 years that I've been solo and confused and lost in the head, but ultimately finding discipline in myself. I've prayed to the Most High. I said, like, I don't know what plans you have for me, if I'm gonna die single or if I'm gonna die, having kids or not. But I hope that you fix me, that you help me fix myself up to attract that same energy woman that can reciprocate my energy. And
You
lo and
said you
behold,
prayed for that, right? So
and
Yahweh gave you that. So you need
yep,
to give him back 10
Yeah,
times more, man.
you got to give
You
him back
yep.
your time, okay?
I believe I gotta give him. I gotta have him. I gotta give him my child. My child. I want my child to be more than 110%, 110% dedicated to the Most High. And I have knowledge in this truth. I've gotten deep down the rabbit hole. I used to study a lot with AOC. I used to hear a lot of camps. And I know things here and too, but I believe that the Most High chose me and for my seed, because one thing's for sure, two things for certain. My father and my grandfather, uh, they were never in my life. My grandpa, which is the father of my dad, he committed suicide in front of my dad when my dad was 13 years old. And my dad just, he was into that whole, Mexican cartel stuff. But, I guess my mother just brought me to the States when I was a kid. And she abandoned him because of the lifestyle that he was into. And so I deciphered all of that. And I said, well, I think I know why the Most High, chose me in this time of life. He chose me to stop that seed, to stop that curse. Yeah, I'm the threshold. I'm the one that puts that end. You get what I'm saying? Like, he chose me he chose me, and he decided my father's destiny, because if my father was in my life, I might have gotten distracted.
Yeah,
You know,
and
and
that's
so,
what I said about him picking one out of a household. So, like I said, bro, you might be that one, man. So,
yeah,
if you want your son or your daughter, whatever you have, if you do have a seed, you want them to grow up, 100% in the truth. Hey, you gotta learn it. You gotta learn that truth so you can keep it correctly. So you can keep the Shabbat, you can keep the Passover, all these things correctly, and learn what real salvation is. And we saved by faith and works, understanding the truth. So it's up to you to being a man. You got your rib and all of that. You gotta guide your family the proper way and the correct way. So yeah, you gotta get on it, man. Get on it. Get in this word and stay in this word so your family will be on the right path.
yeah, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. You know, I've been praying with her these past days. I've been praying to her. I've been teaching her. You know, kind of opened up to her like what I'm into. What I do know about the Most High. And I kind of. And the good thing is that she's not religious at all. She's never been. Her family Catholic, but she's never gone to Catholic school. None of that stuff. Like she's really open. And it's like she's soaking up the game that I'm exposing her to, and she's very open minded. She's not like, oh well, I don't believe what you're trying to say. Like, how can you say that God only loves a certain type of people, but not these other people? And I'm just like, well, that's the Bible. You've ever read the Bible? No, I've never read the Bible, but tell me more about it. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's interesting that the Most High put this woman, submissive. She's very submissive.
Yeah, that's good.
You
It's
know,
a blessing that you
all
have been
praises to the
blessed.
Most High. She's very submissive, bro. Like I've dated, here and there. My bad, bro. I'm giving you guys my personal lifestyle, but I've dated here and there, bro. Within these past 6 years, and I've had bad girls and toxic women, and just I could see it, the difference. First date that she came in, she started washing my dishes, bro. She helped me around here and there, and within like 3, 4, 5 months, bro, she's already living with me, and I'm just like, yo, she's the one, and I appreciate the Most High for this. I know the Most High is doing this for me. The way I got this crib too, bro, like this crib that I'm in right now, I didn't get it just by myself, for some reason, the way I got this crib was just praying to the Most High, and it just so happens that this crib is in the corner of a street called Hope Street and Santa Fe, which is Holy Faith. It's like right in the corner. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, bro. Like the house, the roof, it's all solidified with the Most High. It's I could feel God's energy, the Most High's energy, and something just is with me. I cannot explain it, but I feel it, and I'm glad that I chopped it up with you guys with this.
I would say, bro, you heard Yahawah in the dream, right? So get used to saying that. Say Yahawah, and Yahawashi, and get used to praying to those names, and that because you're calling on the purest vibration that you can call on. Understanding that those are the purest names on this planet, in existence, in this universe. Period. Yahawah and Yahawashi. They literally mean salvation, right? So those are the names that we have to call upon. So get used to praying to those names, raising your family up in those names, right? And I want to get you another one, because you said you're trying to teach your girl about Yahawah only being for Israel. This is Job 2:27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am Yahawah, your power, and none else, no other nation. And my people shall never be ashamed. So he's only dealing with us. Write that one down, keep that one in your mind. That's a cut to, anybody, but real right now, you being, you coming back into this thing, focus on getting the milk, getting that understanding, and getting that proper foundation. All right, because as you told us, Yahawah brought you in with a higher, right, and fake camps, because they're not in the truth. Calling on a false name, letting you know that the Most High is not dealing with you, right? So those guys, in that time frame, you was not in the truth, right? But you're getting the correct names and the correct understanding. Now you're gonna be in the truth because you're getting that proper foundation. And it seems like Yahawah wants to deal with you. He's trying to set you up. You prayed for a woman, he gave you that woman. You prayed for a crib, he gave you that crib. So now you need to give him 100 and 44% back, man.
Yeah, this is the starting point. Hey, Yahawah have blessed you with a couple of good blessings, man. So now you got to be that living sacrifice, and try. Okay, offend less as well as well rehearse the righteous acts. Okay.
Con.
Now let's get some more precepts. Brothers putting them on the board. Sirach 36 and 24. He that getteth, we read talking. He that getteth a wife, beginneth for possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. So that woman is there. You said when you met her, she started washing the dishes. Shit like that. That's a Proverbs 31 woman, man. A woman that's virtuous, that brings life to you. So she helps. A woman is a helpmate. She's there to support. So it seems like you got a good woman with you, right? So,
100%.
Make sure that you going hard for Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi to keep these things and to take care of these things. Because by you being that living sacrifice, learning this truth and growing in this truth and doing what you're supposed to do, leading your family correctly and properly, you are going to save your woman. And
you can be saved through him. Yeah. Your family can be saved through you. Okay.
Because of my head. I am the head.
There you go. That's 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. You are the head. Yahawashi is dealing with you, and Yahawah is dealing with Yahawashi, and then you are dealing with your woman. So, as the scriptures say, as Sarah called Abraham Lord. So a good woman is going to serve her man. That's the order. So Yahawah has given you order. It seems like he's giving you order. Now it's up to you to take that beginning order that you have and increase that order by walking in divine order, by walking in the correct way, the understanding, right? And then, man, Yahawah loves when a woman and a man comes together. Okay, he loves that. So he loves more when a woman and a man come together in his name. So it's gonna be a beautiful thing, man. And I'm glad you came up in here, bro.
No, I appreciate you guys, man.
Hey, Shalawam. I had you read that precept not for the possession part, but the pillar of rest, and also wanted to back it up with the Sirach 26 and 14. If you can get that for me, Baba Kushal.
Sirach 26 and 14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of Yahawah, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Great one. Huh?
So see, she was a gift from Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. These are things that you pray for. Everything that comes from the Father of Lights is a perfect gift for you to be able to navigate through this hell we're in right now. I always said, brother, this is the version of you that if you were to be elect, we don't know who the elect is. We are hopefully elect, but we don't know who the elect is. But this is the version of you that Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi would trust to go into Jacob's trouble. You had your unique experience. Yaramya had his unique experience. Kawam had his unique experience. Matazaba has his unique experience. Everybody's experience is unique, but it's perfect for them to go through whatever it is that Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi will test you through in Jacob's trouble. Because he's going to bring that third part through the fire. Because there's going to be Jacob's trouble. Like these brothers told you, they done passed that big Jacob's trouble beautiful bill. As beautiful as it is, it's going to bring hell on us. But Zechariah 13 and 8 and 9, 2 parts getting cut off and unalived, but he's going to bring the third part through the fire. You have to be tried like gold is tried, brother. So while you here now, and it's a good thing you taking this stuff in, because you ain't no coincidence. Like you say, you don't usually come on TikTok, right?
Yeah,
I don't use TikTok at all. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't even.
That's why you know it's Yahawah, bro. Because look, man, I was on TikTok like a minute ago, and I got in this live, and then I was like, should I do a live on it? Nah. I was gonna chill and I was just gonna relax all night. But I was like, whatever, let me get up on here. And then, you came up in here. So that's Yahawah, bro. He pulled you up in here. He made me do it live, and then he brought you in here because I did a real short
And
live. And
we normally don't let strangers up. We normally don't let strangers
yeah,
give
I normally
testimonies.
don't.
We
You,
normally this is
you see
far from
how
the
it
norm.
was when you came in here? I was like, nah, you can't do no testimony. You know, hey, that's me, yo. That's me, because I'm real on
No,
guard,
I feel
and
you.
I
I
don't
feel
trust
you.
people like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Nah,
hey,
you know what? It's crazy because the way this reminded me of how exactly the first time it was for me to get into the truth. It was exactly almost the same. And when you said, "Nah, bro, I don't give testimonies," like I don't know you, I don't owe you. I felt like, I probably have to wait next time. I was just getting ready to say, "Nah, smooth, bro. Like, don't trip. Like, there's always the next time." But the first time when I came into the truth, I was probably like 17, 18. I was out of it, bro. I was out there in parties in LA. We were out there, partying, nosing it, going crazy, bro. Like we really we were crazy. And when I had this one, brother, he was also Hispanic. He reached me out on Facebook because we used to be into the new age stuff, like Buddhism and geometry and spirituality and those type of things. I understand exactly what they are now, of course, but at that time it was light to me. I've always knew there was something about life, and I was just getting into what felt like was the light, like
yeah,
geometry, these
a lot of
beautiful
brothers
things.
go through that. A
Yep.
lot of brothers go through that before they come into this
Eh,
truth. They go through because
Krishna,
you
the
seeking, you
yeah,
seeking.
I'm going for it exactly, and my body, my spirit was guiding me to those things, and I thought that was it. I said, yo, this is beautiful. This is what my spirit is like, positivity, understanding the laws of nature and whatnot, whatever's. But this homeboy hit me up. He said, hey, yo, you gotta stop that, bro. Trust me, man. You gotta stop it. We were guided wrong. You know what a Bible? You have a Bible, and I don't have a Bible. Like, what are you talking about? I don't believe in God. I think God is everything. God is all one in all. Like, I don't believe in that stuff. He told me, like, bro, just get yourself a Bible. Trust me. And he started preaching to me, bro. Like, he wasn't an Israelite, but he was just preaching to me, and that's how I got kind of into it. And I remember, I got scared for the first time. I said, yo, like, damn, like, I'm like, how? Like, I was confused. How can God not accept this Krishna stuff and whatnot, like this beautiful as light, it's almost everything. But I feared the Most High right then and there, and so at that time, bro, I was I was independent. I was making my own money, working in cars. I would do sound systems and alarms. I would walk around my whole neighborhood and neighborhoods around me, bro, like with zero money in my pocket, probably 50 cents, $1, and I'll just walk around with those post-it notebook, those post-its that you could just detach one by one, and I'll write my phone number, and I used to give it to people, say, hey, yo, hit me up, bro. Like, I do alarm sound systems. I was 18 years old. And I remember I said, yo, you know what? I need to go get a Bible. And let me go to this one store that I know, this Christian store. And I walked in, and I didn't know how I was going to explain it to the lady up front. Tell her, ma'am, like, I'm trying to get into God. I don't have money, but there's a specific Bible that I need. I was just hoping that you could, front it for me, and I'll come back and pay you later. That was in my head, right? And I was looking for the Bible, and I asked her, you have a King James Bible? And she pointed them out. But there was this one King James Bible that I still have to this day. But the story with this Bible is that I saw it, I fell in love with it. It was a brown leather, gold on the edges, and I said, this is it. But it was $35. And so I was going to ask her for that favor, but then I backed out. I was kind of embarrassed. So I walked out, and as I was walking out, I probably walked about like a mile down the road, and I said, you know what? Stop being, come back. Let's go do that, So I went back to the store, and it turns out that there was a male up front, and I told him, yo, you know where the lady's at? Like, there was a lady right here up in the desk. Like, I wanted to talk to her. Oh, you just missed her. She left like about a minute ago. And I was like, damn. So I spoke to him, and I told him, look, I'll be honest with you. This is what I'm trying to do. Woo-de-woo, and I explained to him, and he kind of gave me this bad energy. Like, he said, no, I cannot do that for you. I'm sorry, I can't. I mean, can you at least, like, help me out with a Bible? I'm trying to get into the truth. Like, wouldn't that kind of be like positive, like you hooking me up with a Bible. And he wanted to give me the Gilden's Bible, and I knew that it had to be KJV. Like if it's not KJV, it's altered, is different. And yeah, and I told him like, no, it has to be KJV. And I know it's kind of like like in a moment where beggars can be choosers, right? But he gave me that spirit where it's like beggars can be choosers. Like, yeah, the best thing I could do is just give you this red Bible. And so obviously the color red, it was bright red, like demonic red, Gildan. And I was like, well, I mean, fuck.
Wait, the Jehovah Witness Bible?
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know
a
what
good Bible
but
though, because it got the precepts in it.
But it was Gildian.
But it had the precepts in the middle, right?
Oh, I don't know, bro. But at that time, I was confused. I didn't know any better. I felt like I wanted that Bible, but it was
it's not really surprising that happened to you, brother. And I pulled this precept before you started talking, but it's perfect for what you're going through. This is Jeremiah 10:23. It says, "O Yahawah, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. O Yahawah, correct me, but with judgment, not in thine anger, lest thou bring me to nothing."
God. And I pulled one for you as well, man. The fear of Yahawah is the beginning of his love, and faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him. So,
So, I mean, you walked away from that and you just somehow knew in your spirit that the KGV was it, and the old boy tried to get you, that was all Yahawah.
It was confusing. I'm telling you, because when that happened, I walked out confused, bro. I said, like, why? Like God, if you're trying to guide me into this, like, why are you not letting this happen? Like, I don't understand. And as I'm walking back that same street, bro, this tall white man, like he looked white but like Swedish, or he was just pretty tall, and he was dressed in all black, and he had like something covered over his head, and he had a suitcase. He kind of had this accent, and he told me like, you believe in Buddhists and stuff like that, like or he's trying to give me a buck, bro. And I said, oh no, I'm okay with it. And I was kind of confused because it said Halakrishna, and I looked at him. I'm like, what is all of this? He opened up the suitcase because there was a lot of books, bro, that had to do with Halakrishna, Buddhists, and all that. And I said, oh, like this is the stuff that I'm into, but nah, I'm sorry, I cannot pay $20. And he's like, here, take it, it's for free. And I was like, that moment, my mind got blown away because I couldn't believe that a Christian, store didn't want to, help me out with a KGV, but the stuff that I'm into, Hala Krishna, all of a sudden this weird, person is in my road, in my faith, my path. You could have this for free. I was confused, so I went home. I had both books, and I burnt them up. I lit them on fire, bro, and I said, "Nope, the devil is out here. The devil's trying to, block me from my blessings." And that's how it all started. Somehow, some way, somebody called me up that same week talking about, "Hey, bro, I know you do stereos. You gave me your business, your phone number. I want you to hook me up." And I charged him 150, bro. The first thing that I did, I went to go buy some AAA shirts, some Dickies, and straight to that Christian book church, and I bought that book, and I still have it to this day, bro.
You Instacart for real. You went and got them Dickies, huh?
Yeah, bro. I that's the first thing I did, bro. I went to go get my coffee, bread. There's a socks and boxes store across my street, bro. I bought some Dickies and some AAA shirts, and I got that book, bro. I went back and I paid the $35, and I hopped on it, and I started getting more into the truth. And he started guiding me to this camp, and that's how it all started, bro. I would take the bus to go on a Sabbath every Saturday, bro. I used to go, and we used to dress in all white, and they would bring scriptures. And it was cool, like that's how I started getting along into the truth, and that's how it all started, bro. And so when you told me that, like, yo, bro, we don't do testimonies, like, I felt like I needed to get into the truth, but something was blocking. But nothing stopped me, though. somehow.
We do testimonies, but I ain't never seen you. That's why I was like that. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
don't trip, bro. It's all love.
Yeah, bro. You wake up whenever it is that you need to wake up. And I just want to get this one last precept for you. James 1:17 says, "Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning."
So everything is given by Yahawah. Basically, at the end of the day, good, bad. As we read Isaiah 45:5-7 earlier, right? So, don't, as the scriptures say, don't take the fiery trial as a strange thing, because you will be tried in this thing, right? Hey, it may seem good right now, but be prepared, because it's gonna get bad. Things are gonna happen, right? You're gonna have struggles, you're gonna have challenges, right? Me, man, I just lost my job, but I'm good, right? Because Yahawashi take care of me. So these certain situations are gonna happen. We're gonna go through this stuff. We can't bitch and moan and complain about it, right? We gotta call on those names, Yahawah and Yahawashi, and continue to grow in this doctrine. That's why, man, I believe Yahawah brought you over here to really get that understanding. Now, I heard you say something about the Shabbat, the Sabbath, being on Saturday, but it's actually according to the new moon. And that being a brother, I'm gonna have to correct you on that, because it's according to the new moon. The new moon, when it's no moon in the sky, that would be the beginning of the month. And then you would rest on that day. Kakuma, can you get Psalms 81:3?
Mm-hmm. This is Psalms 81:3 states, "Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day."
So the new moon is declaring a feast day. It's declaring a Shabbat. And then you would rest, and then 6 days you would work. And then on that day after that 6th day, which would be the 8th day of that month, you would rest again. And it just so happens that it would be the first quarter moon. And then you would rest. Then 6 days you would work. And then it just so happens on that day after that 15th day, it would be the full moon, right? And then 6 days you would rest. And then what moon do you think it would be after that?
It'll probably be the it wouldn't be the full moon, right? It would be that I'm guessing full moon?
The third quarter.
Oh, okay.
The third quarter. So and then you would rest again, and then 6 days, and you would have another Shabbat, and then you would look for the new moon. So it'll be 1 week where you're gonna have 2 Shabbats, right? And most camps do not teach that, because they don't understand the lunar Shabbat, how it's supposed to go, right?
You know what's crazy? That's I've always was skeptical about the Sabbath, and I knew that it was just something. I guess that was one of my things where I couldn't understand, and I've always been intrigued with it. And also going back to, like, what's that book, the Book of Enoch, talking about those things, and I just couldn't understand it. I just really couldn't understand how
because Enoch is a false book.
Like it never made sense, right?
Yeah.
Well, everything. I just knew that I wanted to know exactly what the Sabbath day was, and I guess explaining it right now is probably the moment for me to find out. And I could feel it. I could feel it in my spirit right now. It's a relief. It's probably been something in my mind for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna bring this up.
You know what that is?
Go ahead.
You know what that is? That's the Rakakwadash, my brother, the Holy Spirit. He gonna guide you in all truth and bring all things back to your remembrance.
So let's look at this real quick. Enoch walked with power. Then he was no more, for power took him. The book of Enoch is a pseudepigrapha work, a work that claims to be by a biblical character, but it's not actually by him. The book of Enoch was not included in either the Hebrew or most Christian biblical canons, but could have been considered a sacred text by the sectarians, whatever. The book of Enoch, if you really go into it and research it, it was written around 200 BC. Enoch had long been gone, at that point in time. This was a false book. It was a as it said, pseudepigrapha. It claims to be by a certain author, but it's not by him. The same as the book
And
of Jubilees, the book of Jasher,
Jasher.
the book of Thomas, the book of Adam and Eve, the book of Cain, the book of Mary, all those other type of books, man. All right, what you need to be focused on as far as books is the KJV 1611 Bible that has 80 books in it, and that's the proper book that we are supposed to be reading from, right? So that's it right there.
you got the app on your phone
Yeah,
with the apocrypha on it. You show it to him, please, Bible
No,
Control.
I have the apocrypha.
Oh, you
Yeah,
do?
well, we all
Oh,
good
okay.
then.
Yeah, I have the apocrypha, bro. Trust me.
Yeah, okay.
I even look.
Well, and then you need to get a physical Bible then too, because just in case when they, shut all this shit down,
Hey,
you
before
actually have
before we even
a
shut it
Bible
down,
in
I
your
would
hand.
appreciate also prayer. I would appreciate that. But we'll check this out, guys. This is what I have.
This is KJV, and it's got the apocrypha in it. But you said you got an apocrypha, so you good, man. You know?
I don't know how to show this. I don't know how to turn this on for.
Oh, you good. We believe you, man. You good.
Yeah, I believe, man.
I say you good. You ain't got to show it to us.
Man, you talking
This a
about prayer,
fact.
man. You gotta pray for yourself, man. Go to your secret place and pray to Yahawashi, and you pray in secret. Your heavenly Father will reward you in the open.
And you say you be
Just
doing
that
that,
simple.
walking around praying. So you know what your secret place is. If you walking around praying, you got a conscience. That's a beautiful thing. Now, just apply those names to it and apply the proper doctrine and start keeping the correct Shabbos, the correct feast days, and moving properly. I hope you don't eat no pork, crab, shrimp, lobster, shellfish, any of that, right?
None of that.
Hey,
Since
none
when
of
I
that.
was 18.
You was 18, so
Since
shit,
when I
you
was
good,
18.
right?
Bro, I've been away from that. I don't eat pork. I don't eat none of that. Even my mother, at least my mother respects that. So when you talked about like you're the light into the family,
Yeah.
that's one thing that she respects now. Before she used to slip it in, bro. Like when I was like my first 2-3 years, she'd be like, "What are you talking about? Like, just eat it. I mean, I've cooked this. Like, how are you gonna just throw it away?"
The same
And I'm
thing
like,
happened to me.
"Mom, I can't eat that." And she'll cook for me, bro. She'll cook for me sometimes, and I'll be like, "Hey, Mom, does this have pork?" And she's like, "No, it doesn't have pork." I know it does have pork, and I've eaten some foods that she given me that had pork, but now she doesn't do it. Now she respects it. She actually sees more than just why the Bible says it's scientifically proven. Like you should not touch pork, not even the carcass of the pork.
Yeah.
Shrimp, lobster, crab, like all that unclean flesh. Deal with more clean flesh. Like I'm aware of those things. Trust me, bro. Like I know this, but it's just I've.
So it just sounds like the only thing you was going off on was the names
The names
and
and
the Sabbaths and little knick-knack things like that.
Yeah, you get distracted in this world, bro. Like you really get distracted, and when it comes down to business too, it's hard to balance both. But I'm not complaining, bro. I promise you, I'm just explaining, my situation.
Oh, well, I'm not coming down on you at all. Like, I understand.
So it's just one of those things where
everybody's on his journey, man. So it's just where you at, bro.
Let me get this for you. This is Ephesians 4:22 and 23. That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. And verse 24, and that ye put on the new man, which after power is created in righteousness and true holiness. So, as you said, you was coming into it a little bit and growing, but you went back into the world. And you got to take it more, and we're going to say you got to take it more serious, right? Because this thing is this life or death. I can't put it any other type of way. You felt that sleep paralysis. You felt that torment. You felt that fear. You felt that. And you being on here right now is mercy. Yahawah's trying to give you mercy. He's trying to give you the correct names, the correct understanding. And you know this, bro. We done said it many times. So you got it.
It's not to say that you're not gonna fall, brother, but we all go off too. But you got to get back up, and this is your get back up moment. And I mean, you not gonna turn back. I mean, if you turn back now, take your hand off the plow, you probably gonna get destroyed in the lake of fire. So I mean, this is what's waiting on you at the end of the day is life or death. Choose life, but it's been chosen already. So if you go off, bro, you meant to go off, which means you ain't a part of the elect.
Oh, absolutely, I believe that, Con, 100%, 100%, bro. But yeah, man, I'm already gonna do my thing right now, man. I appreciate you guys for your time. I don't know if you guys do a little prayer or something.
We don't pray in the open, bro. So I mean,
No, okay, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, we
I,
can.
nothing
I,
ain't gonna
no,
happen.
I appreciate, but regardless, I
can.
appreciate you guys for your guys' time.
Yeah,
And,
man.
you
But
know,
I'll say
Yeah.
to you, bro. I'll say Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi Barakatah. That means Yahawah in
Yeah.
the name of the Son. Bless you. All right, Barakatham. You and your household, brother.
I
Yeah, yeah, how
appreciate
much
you.
y'all
Likewise, guys.
to you,
Likewise.
you know.
Appreciate you guys, man. Shalom, bro.
Shalawam. Drop the brother down. All right. Shalawam.
This was a beautiful
Man.
interaction.
Yeah.
That's just like like when you go swimming and you jump in the pool and you get that fresh water all over sensation on your body.
Man,
Uh,
yeah.
That's just what
I want
that
to go
felt. I
swimming
just what
tomorrow,
that I
man.
felt
Shit.
that. Hey,
I need to go swimming, man.
nah, you don't go nowhere on the 4th of July. They're gonna be out there, folks. You
Wait. Hey, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, man, but I fear no evil.
hey, they gonna see you out there. Gonna be like, hey, there goes one of them folk right there. You send them over there with them alligators.
Hey, my last name Irish, so I'm good. They ain't gonna make no mistake. Shoot. Man. But yeah, that was a good one, man. You know, I'm tired, so I ain't gonna be on here much longer. But y'all got anything? Any questions in the comments? You know,
All right, so I got just one.
what's
All
up?
right, so so you know how in the New Testament there's a scripture, right?
If it's out of the book of Galatians, I'm gonna drop you down. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna drop you down.
I. So in the book of John, right?
Okay,
I'm
John, let's
thinking
go.
about. I'm thinking about like the 3rd chapter,
Third chapter, yep.
and I want to say it may be like the
16.
16th verse.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Yep.
the thing say the world, right?
Yeah, world. I got you. So what it says right here is world and a a harmonious arrangement or constitution, order, government. The key, what you need to look at is government. All right, this is speaking about a nation of people. Okay, this ain't speaking about the world. As you can see right here, what is that word? Cosmos, right? Cosmos. It's actually 4 different definitions of world in the scriptures, I believe. Right? I did a lesson on this before. I'm gonna tell you like other people. You can go check my YouTube.
and Isaiah 45:17, that's just it.
God, that's the world. That's Israel. The world of Israel shall be saved with an everlasting salvation. Not the entire, all nations. Because, hey, we brought out Joel 2:27 that Yahawah is in the midst of Israel, right? He is their power. He deals with them. So that's another cut to that scripture, right? And even in that whole chapter, go to the top. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. So this whole conversation was between Yahawashi and Nicodemus. This was about the Jews. This was about that nation. I don't get how people don't get that, Like we playing, but being honest.
You say you don't get it, man. Well, you get it.
I get it. Yeah, you're right. I get it. But
you get it.
it's man, sometimes I'll be talking to Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi like, and these people stupid, man. That's what I say.
Look, now, Sardis children, boy, I swear they stupid.
I'll be like, please take me out of this stupid place. Like, I'm ready to go. It's too dumb down here for me, man.
I was just like that earlier today, man. I was
and not being high-minded.
I think I need to go.
I don't like being around stupidness. I don't like it.
That's
it be all this wickedness, boy, and then the stupidity, and it be the same person, and then you correct somebody, and then somebody come up behind them and say the same dumbass shit. Boy,
Bruh,
it
I
be,
was just in that live. I was just in that live with that clown, and that hidden one was in there. That female dog, right? And what did she say in the comments? She said that Moses' wife was an Israelite. She literally
what?
said that shit out of her mouth. I said no. It literally says Ethiopian. All right, a Cushite. What are you talking about? Just
Boy,
where the fuck they be getting this shit from, bro?
they just be making it up as they go along.
As they go along, man. Don't even care about the scriptures. We was really discussing Ruth, and this dude said he ain't even read the book of Ruth in a couple months. I'm like, why are we discussing this? You don't even understand it. You ain't read it. So when he said that, I left alive. Like, I'm not about to do this with you, bro.
They don't be reading these stories out. They don't,
They don't.
they just make shit up. They're like, oh, well, you know, Ruth was a Moabite, but she had to be an Israelite because she come from Israelites from two parents. Bitch, what the fuck? Are you stupid?
Yeah, they stupid,
Yeah,
man.
you are. You are stupid. I'm sorry. Yes, it ain't. Are you? You are.
Khan Matazawa, yeah. She was I was about to bring out Numbers 12, and the idiot that was on the live, he said, no, let's stay in Deuteronomy 23. I said, no, let's go wherever I don't have to stay where you want to stay. They be trying to paint a narrative. And that's what brothers need to, pick. When you going dealing with these scoffers, they trying to paint that narrative. Don't let them control the floor, or they gonna try to paint it. That's why, I don't really go on other people's lives, because they try to run it like that, right? They
Yeah,
don't even
I
address
don't
the
talk no
entire
bug out
scripture.
at all. Who's that bug out that what you call it? Shade to the group talking about it? Yeah, he said once you to disband the Israelite camps, we're all gonna go home and the heathen are gonna cleave to us. I said, what scripture says that?
He even gonna cleave to us. Where does it say
Oh,
that at?
boy, what he said? He said Isaiah 40 something. Boy, hold on, let me get it. I'll be right back. Hold on, don't go nowhere. I'll be right back.
He says the stranger shall cleave to Israel and Judah, not the damn heathen. The heathen are gonna be in servitude. They're gonna be slaves, man. All right, ruled under a rod of iron. Right? That means strict. That means discipline. Bring the brother back up.
Alright. So he said Isaiah 42, 1 and 4.
Kyle, let's check it out. Isaiah 42, 1 and 4. Behold, my
1 to
servant.
4.
Oh, wait a minute, what?
1 to 4.
Dang. Behold, my servant, whom I uphold, mine elect. Who is the elect? That's Isaiah 45 and 3 or 4? Right? That's the elect. Israel, the Israelites. In whom my soul delighteth, I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgments to the Gentiles. He shall not cry nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street. A bruised reed shall he not break, and the smoking flax shall he not quench. He shall bring forth judgment unto truth. He shall not fail nor be discouraged till he have set judgment in the earth, and the owl shall wait for his law. So he believes what? These Gentiles. Let's get that
That
word.
we're supposed to come together as a nation, and Yahawah and Yahawashi is going to deliver us, and the heathen are supposed to cleave unto us as we go back to the Holy Land.
Yeah, that ain't lining up with Isaiah 149. Isaiah 14. I mean Salakia, Psalms 149. Or Isaiah 14 and 2 and 3. Or Joel 2 and 27, as we keep bringing out. That's not lining up. So it's contradiction. So therefore it means that his breakdown is incorrect. It's the wrong interpretation. It's a private
So
interpretation.
so if we gonna leave this place, when does Babylon get destroyed? When do the 2/3 receive their judgment? Who's gonna be ruling over their oppressors? Like, I mean, like, you got several different holes in your doctrine, and you just bring up four verses like it's supposed to answer these questions.
Con.
Jake you be wanting to cuss somebody out. One boy, I promise that I do, but I get banned if I
You can
do.
go down. You can go down to verse 6 and 7, man. I, Yahawah, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles, to open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. I am Yahawah, that is my name, and my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Who is the prisoners in the prison house? Who is he going to give the light to, the understanding to?
Israelites in a Gentile state of mind.
Huh. Just making sure. And you know, they going off. Cause these heathens, what, for 1,000 years, bro, they gonna be in servitude. Now they gonna be learning the laws, commandments, and statutes. They gonna be getting an understanding. Exactly, right? But they're not gonna be in a rulership position, or they're not gonna, in a sense, like, bro, being a servant and cleaving is different. Right? Isaiah 14:1 versus Isaiah 14:2 and 3 is extremely different. Right? Servants, handmaids, bondmen, bondwomen. This is totally different than being a stranger and cleaving onto Israel. Those
It
that
said they shall rule over their oppressors. Who's the oppressors and who's the oppressed? And then who's being cleaved to whom being oppressed over? Please answer those questions for me.
Like an Israelite female in Brazil that doesn't know she's an Israelite, but she's not wicked. Like, she can get in order, right? She can be a part of Isaiah 4:1. Okay, she can get right. So she will cleave unto Israel. She will cleave unto Judah. She will cleave. She never knew she was an Israelite. She was in a Gentile state of mind. She's gonna cleave unto us, right? That's very much different than a heathen woman that's gonna go into straight servitude. That's gonna go into slavery. We ain't dealing with no other nations. Y'all got anything else, man?
No, not really.
Kawam, you still there?
Yeah, I can't.
Okay, I'm about to all right, I'm about to end it. You know, shoot.
All right, then, man. You go watch Squid Games with old buddy Yasharahla.
Oh no, oh man, that's right. Hey, the water. Kawam, man. You ain't right, huh? You ain't right, bro. You ain't right, bro. And you know why.
He just be spoiling stuff and don't even apologize for it.
And don't even apologize for it.
He ain't say who. I say he just died.
He muted his mic. He don't want to talk about it. I finished Squid Games, Kawam. I finished it. You don't want to talk about it?
He knows speaking of English.
You know, you straight Levi now, huh? You Haitian now. You speak patois. You speaking French now, huh? Yeah.
His signal mysteriously go bad at this moment.
I know, right? You can't talk at night.
He lag switching.
Yeah. All right, man. It was good though. But I'm gonna say Shalawam, man. All praises be to Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawashi, by Hashem, Yahawashi. All right, Shalawam to the brothers and sisters in the comment board. Shalawam. Hey,
Shalawam.
Kwame Yasharahla and the Bible Ball to his wicked king. Shalawam.